Are you only valuable because of your productivity? In the academic game, that's what we talk about a lot is productivity. And it's a misnomer. It's actually not talking about productivity. It's just talking about the number of papers that you actually have behind your name, the number of grants that you have, and the number of citations that you have. That's the only thing that matters. Not really correlated very strongly with productivity. And so here's the sad truth. Yes, that's the only thing that actually does matter. And that's the only thing that people are going to hire you for is because of those particular issues, those things. Are you a known quantity? Do you have citations behind your name? Do you have grants? Do you have research publications? That's the only thing that matters. Here's the thing that you have to deal with. And I'm going to walk you through in this video and how to actually deal with this. And it's going to be something that is very, very different than from what you have actually been told in the past. Here's the thing. This is what you need to understand is that yes, that's the only thing that matters. But to get you from here, where you currently stand right now, in terms of how you understand the world, to there, where people are respecting you, they understand what you're about, is that you have to completely disregard all of those metrics. It's the only way that you are going to understand and move forward in this world. It's easy to get wrapped up in all of these metrics, particularly for all of us at any stage, no matter what we are doing. Because if you focus on metrics and those long-term metrics, what you will do is you'll go down this really terrible rabbit hole that we all go through because there's no real way to translate your efforts today to getting those productivity metrics actually up. Now, this might be not true for all industries, but I think it's very, very true. I think it's in general, there is a strong truth to this. There's some great research out of MIT at John Sterman's group with Hazia Ramadad and many others that have studied these particular effects. And essentially, what we're looking at is a very well-known learning problem that the actions that you have today are measured and understood in terms of what you do, and the outcome that you're going to get, which is sometime in the future, is not correlated very strongly. They're correlated in a weak way, and it's often correlated in through a tremendous amount of delay. And when that happens, we don't know how to behave. We get very confused, and we often think that the best possible way to get forward is to work harder, to put things, to really, really just grind and really push forward at it. And this is called a competency trap. Nelson Repenning and John Sterman have a great paper on this. And essentially, you think that you just have to work harder. And the harder that you actually work and the more hours that you put in, the more that you're going to provide some sort of output. And it turns out that that is a false nomer. What's going to happen is that you're going to work harder and you're actually going to penalize yourself in the long run. You're going to get things like burnout. You're going to get things where you have a terrible culture in your community. You are going to have a whole bunch of miserable things happen to you because that's the only thing that you're focused on. It's a very easy thing to get wrapped up into. And it's really because you don't understand what is leading to those very, very long-term outcomes. Many of those things that lead to those long-term outcomes are out of your control. They really are. They have to do with context and levels that are beyond your control. Things like perhaps if you live in the United States, not everybody lives in the United States, but I know a majority of this audience does, or a significant portion. There are things that are done at the state level that you have no control over. There are politicians that are dictating what outcomes actually are in terms of how much money and funding and all that kind of stuff that you get. That includes stuff that's going on in different industries and commercial application. And so all of those things are outside of your control, even within your country. There's many countries around the world that don't have the same environment as one does within other countries. And so those things are completely outside of your control, other than democracy and voting. But that's such an indirect way to change any of that kind of stuff that it really doesn't affect you on a day to day. So the only thing that you can do to improve this, to get those outcomes in the future, is to really focus on just being a good person and doing your best every day. And I know that that sounds, to me, it's ludicrous. And to you guys I know I'm gonna lose a whole bunch of people when you hear that. But it's a ludicrous thing because you can't affect anything else. The only thing that you can affect is yourself. The only thing is that you could be a little bit more positive and very forgiving to yourself, right? Like it's all about this forgiveness, because what you're going to do is you're going to realize you don't live up to those standards. Nobody lives up to those standards that are expected to you, expected of you in terms of that productivity. And that's the only thing that's actually valued. And the only way that the market actually sees that productivity is once you've actually completed what you have done. It's not before, it's what has been done. And so you have to deal with this. The only way that you can get to here is to work and be happy every single day and to do things that you enjoy, do things that you incentivize other people to be happy around you. And it's really about thinking, and it's not about like, hey, let's give everybody, free lunches and all that kind of stuff. But it's very much a difference in how you deal with the world. And you say, F this, right? Like this does not matter. Getting to those outcomes and all of that prestige, like F it, right? Like screw it. It doesn't matter in the given time. The only thing that actually matters is you getting up and feeling positive at any given day. And if people are going to judge you, just let them judge you. Like it doesn't matter, right? Those people are completely clueless anyways if they don't understand that this stuff is the most important stuff of getting up and controlling what you actually have, being positive, making sure that you are. And what that does is it builds a community, it builds a culture where people are excited to be around and they are pushing against this. And if you push against this and you do it for a long time, right, very, very long time, I'm talking years and years and years and perhaps decades, you push against, it's pushing against those outcomes. It's pushing against the getting wrapped up and all of that stuff, that you actually do change the needle and all of that stuff actually comes to you. It's this really weird thing that happens. Anybody that's in a creative industry completely understands what I'm talking about, whether you're a writer or a film director or any number of different things. You got to be willing to just say F you to the world and do your thing and really live in it and try to be happy in this moment right here, where the only thing that you're affecting is your behavior. The only thing that you could do is just to be a positive role model in your community. And if everybody collectively does that, that's the challenging part, because everybody has to agree upon that. And I'm going to tell you this, there's always a defector. Even when you're in a place where there is like a lot of well intentions and there's lots of like talking about making sure that there's positive impact and all that stuff, there's always a defector that wants to go here very quickly. And then that's going to tear down your community. And so you have to learn how to manage to deal with that, whether it is through isolating, whether it is through detaching, whether it is through walking away, whether it is just biting your lip and just doing the old blank stare, the old gray rock, where you just simply don't care about what those people say and you get back up and you do it again every day. And it's this repetition of getting back up and doing it again that you will move the needle. And you can say F you to everybody around you that doesn't believe that. That's ultimately it. That's how you actually devalue the outcomes that are expected of you, but you're able to actually achieve those outcomes that are expected of you. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.